months ago, someone that I really cared about called me an attention whore and said that I do what I do for validation and I just do it for likes and that I'm fake. I want to talk about why I do what I do. I've been doing this since 2013. I've been going live on Facebook since 2015 when it started. I started doing Instagram Live in 2016, and then when Reels became a thing, it was in 2020. It started a little bit earlier, but that was when video and TikTok really skyrocketed, and I was a part of it. I also continue to show up online on Instagram at jessicadumas.ca, on YouTube, and I have a podcast. And thank you for being here, the Confidence and Communication Podcast. But the reason that I do what I do is because I wanted to empower others. And I want to talk you a little bit through that journey, because this is also a calling. This is something that I responded to. It was an idea that I received, but it wasn't like Jessica the human. It was just like the message from God, creator, universe, that said, this is what you're supposed to do. And it was up to me to realize it and take the steps to discover it. So it wasn't about me wanting to show up for likes, wanting to show up for attention and validation, but I want to talk about that process. So if you are someone, I love starting my messages by validating your time for being here. But if you're someone who has thought about, I want to show up online, I want to be a speaker, I want to share on Instagram, I have something amazing that I want to share, then you probably have some of the fears that I've had and that my clients deal with. And they are stuff like, what if people I know see me? What if people that know me personally watch? What if they judge me? What are they going to say? What kind of things are they going to say? What if people tell me that I look stupid or I feel stupid, and someone validates that by telling me that I look stupid, that I'm wasting their time, that I look fake, or they think all of this shit is fake, or they think that I'm arrogant or I'm conceited. Like, those are really valid fears, and they're things that I dealt with. They're things that my clients deal with. And by the way, those fears need to be addressed, because it's your limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And because I'm a speaker coach and this is what I do for a living, I have a program called Beyond Affirmations, and I host it live every second Sunday of the month. And so you can send me a DM to ask about the next one, the second Sunday of every month. The fact is, it's such an oxymoron. I don't do this for the likes. I don't show up for the follows. I don't show up and tell you to subscribe. Thing is, like, I'm showing up because I have a passion. I'm showing up because I have a message. I'm showing up like many others have shown up before, like David Goggins, who, he shows up, he talks about his hardships, he talks about how he overcomes it, and his personality and the way that he comes across, those are the type of people that are going to follow him. And the same thing with Tony Robbins. He has a message, he has a superpower, and he's really good at what he does. And he shows up because he wants to help people change their lives, just like David Goggins, just like Amanda Francis, just like Taylor Swift. There are people who show up in these spaces, and for the most part, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but there are some that are out there that I know that I can relate to, that it just happens to be what you're called to do. I didn't wake up one day and said, I want to get likes on Facebook. I want to do this. I want to do that. The shit that I had put myself through in order to get where I am didn't feel good. It didn't feel good. And there were times where I had to start selling online. I couldn't even sell like in person. Like, I couldn't sell anything. But if I wanted to grow, if I wanted to succeed, I knew I had to learn how to play the game. And that means that I needed to learn to ask people to pay me, and I needed to learn to ask people to follow and subscribe and all of that stuff. Because what's the point? Like, what's the point of going through all of the work, following your purpose, discovering your passion, and then being fucking terrified of it? It's just, like, I wake up this one day and it's like, oh, I think I should, be a speaker. I think I should be more confident on stage. And little Jessica is like, no, the fuck not. Like, why would we do something like that? But this passion and this purpose overcomes you, and you don't have a say anymore, because if you don't follow it, you're fucking miserable. There were times in my life where I was coming out of, working for corporate, working for other companies. And in many cases, I was doing jobs that I enjoyed and that I was good at, but I knew that there was something deeper, and I just felt that calling, and I felt it like a burn in my body. And the more that I didn't do it, the more that I was miserable, the more that I just wanted to cry, the more I wanted to hate my life, the more I was just fucking miserable. And by the way, the people who are going to call you out on being arrogant, fake, attention whore, all that shit, those people are not people who are serving their purpose. Because anyone who believed, anyone who understood what it takes, what you actually sacrifice in order to become who you're supposed to be, like, that's not easy shit. It's not easy shit. There are definitely, of course, times where when you're posting things, you need that, not necessarily validation. Sometimes we think that's what it is. We're seeking that validation because we are looking externally for confirmation. Okay, God, creator, universe, you said that this is what I should be doing. So now I'm looking to the world for that validation, which is a normal thing. It's sort of like a rites of passage for especially spiritual people to understand that even though you need that likes, follows, subscriptions, even though you need that shit, you need that to grow. And when you're not getting it, it can be frustrating. And what I remind my clients, and what I've learned that was best for myself, is to go inward. Always go inward. That's where the validation comes from. It's also like, yeah, the likes, the views, all of that shit is helpful in me spreading my purpose. But ultimately, when I get a message late at night and someone is on Instagram sending me a DM or sending me an email saying, Jessica, thank you so much for talking about the stuff that you do. You're so real. You help me stand up as a more confident person. All of those stories, that's the confirmation. That's the validation that I'm like, okay, like I may not have made a sale in a couple of weeks. I may not have had a video that had that many views in the last few weeks, but there's one person out there that my message inspired to keep going. And maybe they have a question for me, and we're chatting late at night, and this is my purpose. This is my passion. And it was something that was given to me by God. So yes, you want that validation. You want those likes and follows and views and all of that stuff, but you don't have to like asking for it. And I'm not saying that in any of this you ever have to like asking for it, but it's just, I just wanted to acknowledge that. After doing this for 10 years, after like discovering my passion, following a path, when I started 10 years ago, when I got my certification and I started speaking on stage, I was not good. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was having fun. I got paid to speak. I got paid to MC an event, which put me in front of an audience for a day. And there were parts of me that was like, wow, this is fun. I love being in front of an audience. I love being able to take them through the day when you're MCing a conference. And I love that I get paid for this. There was a lot of that, but there was also a lot of like, holy shit. Am I wasting their time? Do they think I'm stupid? Am I making a fool of myself? Am I stupid to believe that someone else can actually pay me to do this? Like, there's so many thoughts that go through your head. As a coach, one of the things that I really wanted to do is I wanted to inspire people, and I didn't know what that meant. And the more that I worked on my speaking skills, because I had incredible amounts of opportunities to speak in front of audiences because I would volunteer. I was a volunteer for the Indigenous Chamber of Commerce and the Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce. And I served as chairperson for both of those boards, which allowed me to serve and speak to so many audiences. And every time I would come down, I would be really hard on myself, and I would tell myself how stupid that was, how dumb it was. I was so embarrassed that I said something wrong. And my goal was that I was going to get better at this. I'm going to get better at this. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a trainer. I didn't have any training to take. All I did was assess myself when I came off the stage and decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do better next time. And I would practice and I would practice. And now 10 years later, I believe in so strongly the work that I'm doing and the work that I'm offering. I'm also of full mind that there's nothing fucking wrong with that. And one of the things that I absolutely hate is that there's people out there who want to shame you for being in your passion and shame you for standing up for what you believe in. I say fuck them. There is nothing more validating, there's nothing more fulfilling than answering the call. If you feel like this is your purpose, to speak, to show up, to do something to inspire, it's your responsibility to discover what that is and go through your own assessments and work with a coach, send me DM, work on your own barriers that are coming up in your limiting beliefs, because I had my own judgment of feeling stupid when I was showing up. I had worries that, especially when I was showing up online, what if people that I knew started watching? Because it was almost like I wanted people who didn't know me to watch. And then when there were people who did know me, I was like, oh my God, like, what are they going to say to me when I see them in person, when I'm showing up online and I'm doing all these reels and I'm doing all this shit? Like, there's that fear. And then there's also the fear of, what if no one sees? What if I put all of this work into it and I'm speaking my message of passion and no one sees it? No one responds, no one engages, no one, like there's so many fears that come with opening up your life and putting it online. And it's not for everyone. There are so many people out in the world who are changing people's lives, and we need to use our voice in order to do that. If you are someone who that's not an interest to you, you're probably not even watching this video, so I'm not even going to talk to people like that. But you're probably someone who feels that calling burning, and you want to go, you want to follow it. And I believe that my life has been an example, like celebrating it, owning it, finding confidence of showing up online, showing up on stage. I just think, why the fuck not? Why the hell should we not enjoy the fruits of our labor? Why should we not put out this content and be proud of it? Like, why wouldn't we do that? If you're creating content to improve someone's life, to change someone's life, like, this is one of the most amazing things that you can do in today's day, if this is something that is calling you. I believe that for every obstacle that you overcome and for everything that you heal, you earn this new level in life. And it's not that you are higher or better than anyone, but it is allowing ourselves to just own and celebrate and enjoy our purpose and our passion. Again, I just want to encourage you. I believe my life has been an example. And it doesn't mean that I'm better or smarter, even if I've, my levels of where I'm growing might be different, but I don't think it's not better than anybody else. Although I know that I am really fucking good at what I do. Everything that I have been up against, I have overcome 100%. And I believe that that is the absolute same for you. As a child, like, going back to what are the things that I've actually overcome: neglect and abuse as a child. Like, as I said, I'm writing a book. And so eventually those stories will be in there. I dropped out of high school when I was like 18 years old, dropped out of high school, got pregnant, got married really young. I was cheated on. It was a horrible experience. And I raised 3 sons on my own. I struggled with poverty and poverty mindset for so many years. I had such low self-esteem growing up. And I started my business with only a high school education. And so I believe that when I show up and I talk about having confidence in showing up, standing in what you believe in, and if you feel like there's a purpose or a passion that's inside your heart that's burning to get out, that it really is your responsibility to learn to trust and to follow that intuition. And I'm still learning, to let go. And I feel like the lessons that I'm learning right now is to stop fucking complicating it, because as human beings, we fuck up our own paths and purpose because we try to manipulate it, we try to make it happen, we try to manifest. And I believe in manifestations, but I'm going through a new level, a new phase of what that looks like for me. But yeah, this is a message that I wanted to share for those of you who, you know, you want to show up online, you want to show up on YouTube, you want to start a podcast, you want to use your voice to take up space and change the world. I can help you. I'm your girl, jessicadumas.ca on Instagram. And don't forget about my Beyond Affirmations program every second Sunday. In addition to that, I also offer 6 months of one-on-one coaching for entrepreneurs to write your talk, clarify your message, get on stage, and get paid. Okay, I love you. Thanks for being here. Come again.